Hey, what is going on, my fellow Sagittariuses? Butch Tarot here. I am back in my office. It was getting a little cold in the garage. I like doing it out in the summer in the garage because it's nice and cool, but this time of year it's getting a little too cool. So we're back in the old office. Anyway, with that being said, I am going to do a general read as a 1 week read. It is for your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, you like the content, subscribe. Everyone is welcome. You know, this is a place for everybody. Very welcoming community. So if you got something to say, always feel free to comment. If you don't want to say in the comments, always feel free to hit me up. Anything you want to know or any way to get a hold of me is in the description box below. You know, I get a lot of emails and messages and stuff, so if I don't respond right away, be patient with me. I will get to it. I'm going to be using the Anchormancy Tarot, which is a gift that I received a few years ago from someone in our community. Absolutely love it. Every card is designed by a different tattoo artist, so there's no two cards are alike. I know, like you know, most tarot decks kind of follow the same theme. This is completely different, makes it so unique. Great art. I love tattoos. I love tarot. It's a win-win for me. The only thing that I can say that I don't absolutely love with this deck is the size of it. It's really small. I have big hands, so for most people that's probably not a problem, but it's not a problem for me. I work through it. We'll get there. With all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what message do we have for Sagittarius? What is coming up for Sagittarius? I don't know what an itchy elbow means. Anyway, well, let's get into this hot mess. The first thing is we have the Magician in reverse and the Tower. So I feel like there's some chaotic energy around you, and I feel like you're not really sure what to do about that. You know, not really sure what to do right now. It's kind of like, you know, when shit hits the fan and it's just like that first initial reaction is like, what do I do? Kind of like me and cleaning my house. You know, my kids have a tendency of being like little tornadoes and wrecking my house sometimes. And one thing, I'm a very clean person, but I'm very not organized when it comes to cleaning. So I kind of just clean. I don't do it in a very effective way. And I feel like this is kind of like the energy, is like this chaotic energy, not really sure what to do with that Magician in reverse. Feeling like someone or something close to you is not being honest with you. And it feels like you're not seeing what's really going on around you. You know, with that Queen of Swords in reverse, feeling like someone's lying to you or someone's not being truthful with you. And then we have that, like I said, the Two of Swords, like you feel like things are going on, but you don't know what's going on. And you're kind of in that spot. And it feels like it's kind of spiraling out of control really quickly, causing you to be very defensive. The Knight of Swords, that quick moving energy, and then we have that Nine of Wands, like feeling defensive. I feel like there's just a lot going on right now. Late nights, anxiety. And I feel like there's a lot of turmoil right now going on in your life. And having a hard time seeing the positive, and being very easy to see the negative with that Five of Cups. So I feel like there is some hectic energy and you're feeling out of balance. You feel like someone's not being honest with you. You feel like they have secrets. Kind of feeling like shit's just falling apart. And really not knowing what to do about it. This is that energy of when one thing goes wrong, all of a sudden everything's going wrong. Kind of like that domino effect. But what it's telling me, what I'm seeing is I feel like there's a lot of overthinking on your part. I feel like there's a lot of overthinking. I feel like possibly even making this a bigger deal than it really is. Or seeing things that aren't really there. Letting your, we have the Moon card reversed, letting your imagination get the best of you. Because I do see that there is someone around you. And I feel like a lot of this is focused on them. I feel like there's a lack of communication with this person. It's almost like that Tower and all these things that I'm seeing, it's like this person, it's like you feel like their bags are packed, but they haven't told you. Like the bags are packed in the closet door by the front door. Your shoe closet, or your winter coat closet, or wherever we want to call it. Like it's like their bags are packed and in there, and they're just not telling you. Like they're almost out the door, but they're not out the door yet. Like you feel, like I said, I feel like everything seems to be falling apart. Almost. This is a thought. We have the Eight of Cups. So it almost, like I said, because this person isn't being completely open and honest with you, and you feel like they're hiding something big from you. A lot of this, I feel like I said, it is created by you. I'm a Sagittarius, so trust me, I don't mean any offense by this, but I just feel like there's a lot of overthinking, looking too deeply into things that aren't really meant to look that deeply, and reading between lines that have no writing between them. Feeling like this person already walked away from you or let you go. They just haven't told you yet. And it's got you feeling out of balance. And I feel like the fact that this is, you've been betrayed before, this kind of brings back some old unwanted memories. But I don't feel like that's it, though. You're waiting for this person to leave, or waiting for this person to admit that they're done or they're walking away. But I don't see that coming. I don't feel like their bags are packed and at the door. I don't feel like a lot of these things that you're feeling are necessarily, and I'm not saying they're your fault, because I don't feel like this person is necessarily helping the situation. But what I am here to say is I don't think, I truly believe that it's not what you think it is. I feel like, we have the Six of Cups. So this is someone that you already know. The Four of Cups. I feel like this person thinks about you and only you. I don't feel like it has anything to do with you. I feel like whatever's going on with them is something they're dealing with. And them not telling you is just not that, is them not putting it on you, but it's not about you. I feel like when push comes to shove, I feel like this person, they are going to show up for you. And I feel like that's going to put a lot of this to rest, and you're going to find strength in the situation. I feel like you don't know what's going on, so you feel like kind of left out. But like I said, I do feel like this person truly cares about you, so it's not what you think it is. I do see you finding balance with that temperance, and I do feel like you being, you know, this is not over. And I feel like there's going to be some new inspiration, and really fill you in. And I feel like you're going to, you are going to get back to a place where you feel strong. I just feel like there's a lot of insecure energy right now. I feel like a lot of that's going around this time. Like at this time, there's just a lot of negative energy flowing in the world. And I'm not really sure what the excuse is, but I just feel like there's a lot of negativity going on. I've been seeing it in my own life and around. There's just a lot of uncertainties. But like I said, I mean, this person, I don't see them walking away. I don't see them letting you go. I don't see that's even remotely what they want. I feel like they're dealing with things, and they're dealing with it on their own. They're trying to do all the work themselves and kind of keeping you on the outside, so it kind of makes you feel like you're being abandoned. But I feel like they're doing it in their mind. I feel like they're doing it to protect you, to not, riddle you down with this shit. But the opposite is happening, the opposite effect. But I'm not going to bullshit you. I feel like there's a lot of overthinking on your part. And then we have the moon card as well, letting your imagination get the best of you. I don't feel like it is it's not what you think it is. I don't feel like it's even close. Like I said, feeling like their bags are packed. Sometimes when shit hits the fan in life and things aren't right, something seems off. The overthinking is the worst thing, because then we start thinking about what's off, even though we don't know. It's almost like that feeling, if you were to call up a doctor and say, hey, I'm not feeling, there's something wrong with me. And then not saying another word and expecting the doctor to tell you what's wrong. So the doctor has a choice. They can either investigate, or they can just come up with things in their head. It's kind of like, it reminds me of like when one of my kids are sick and they come to me and they say, I'm not feeling good. And they don't really describe what's not feeling good. Is your belly? Does your head hurt? You know what I mean? And as a parent, you start automatically thinking the worst. I don't know if that's everybody, but that's me. And it really affects me when my kids aren't feeling good. So it's kind of like one of those situations where, because they're not telling you, you got to fill in the blanks, and what you're filling the blanks in is making the situation worse, not better. But like I said, I don't feel, you're waiting for them to admit that they don't love you, or they walked away, or they're on their way out. I don't see that as being the case. Like I said, with the 3 of Wands in reverse, I don't see that coming to fruition. I feel like this person being there for you, I feel like, you're important to them. Just because someone cares about you or loves you doesn't mean they're always going to make the best choices. Some people do things because they love you. So sometimes they make choices to keep you out of it, thinking that they're helping you, but in this case, I feel like it's hurting you. But like I said, I think that the closet by the door, I don't think there's anything in there. There's no suitcases packed. To be honest with you, I feel like that's the last thing that's going on. And like I said, I feel like this person is going to show up for you. I feel like once you find balance, re-inspired, and you find strength in the connection, and I feel like it's just going to make your connection stronger. But that's the thing about communication. We got to have it. Because if we don't have it, then, I mean, if you think about it, that's like you having a book, someone giving you a book and saying, hey, this is a really good book, you should read it, and every other line is missing. So you got a choice. You either find a book that has all the lines, has all the words, Or you can make up the story as you go along, which probably won't get you to where the story is supposed to go. I overthink the shit out of things too. With this, I mean, we have Aquarius and Gemini. You know, we have Leo, Sagittarius. We got some Pisces, some Scorpio. Yeah. You know, imagine having a book, or even a book's, a better example probably would have been having a book that you get a 400-page book and you get to page 392, and all of a sudden all the pages are blank. So you either gotta make up the end of the story, talk to somebody that knows the story, or go find another book. And I'm kind of stubborn as a Sagittarius. I'm a Sagittarius, sun and moon. I'm stubborn. I'll make that shit. I'll fill in the blanks. Yeah, it's not a good idea. You're not gonna get the full story. But I get that way too. Like sometimes when people aren't telling me everything, I feel like when somebody's not telling me everything I need to know, I feel like whenever they're not telling me, sometimes my mind wanders and thinks, okay, well, whatever they're not telling me can't be good. Whatever they're not telling me must be horrible. It is a bad trait, and I'm bad for it. I don't even know the real word for it. I feel like I know what it is. I call it catastrophizing. I say this before. I do that a lot. I'm self-aware to the point where I know it's one of the things that doesn't do me any good. You know, even with Rose, I mean, we're going through some shit now, and even with her, sometimes, and I know a lot of people can agree with me or can relate to this, is sometimes when your partner's going through something and they don't tell you, some of us tend to wonder if it's something to do with us. And sometimes it has nothing to do with us, but it's almost like you feel like if they're not telling you, it must be you. It must be me. That's why communication is so key. And some people, one of her traits is when things are bugging her, she kind of bottles it up and kind of, wants her space. So sometimes I know what it is, so it's easier than others, but sometimes I don't know what it is, and sometimes I assume it must be me. I don't know what causes me to do that, but I'm pretty good, and I feel like we all have our imperfect parts of ourselves, and that's one of mine, and I'm very self-aware of it. Sometimes it can be a problem, We've had issues in the past where it wasn't me. I wasn't the problem. She was having an issue or something, and I wasn't the problem. And not with just her, I mean with other people in my life. Sometimes I feel like when I'm being shut out, it must be me, right? And sometimes I've been in a situation where I made things worse by thinking that. I dated this girl back in high school, and I talked about her before. And I remember she was one of those internal people, like she went completely introvert whenever there was an issue. And it didn't, it really irritated me because I'm one of those people that I need you to talk to me. There's something wrong. Talk to me. Doors open, and we always had that kind of relationship where she just talked to me about anything. So when she stopped talking to me, I always felt like it was me. You know, I always felt like, okay, so why all of a sudden now you can't talk to me? And then I'm like, okay, it's probably something stupid I did or something I'm doing wrong, or maybe she doesn't like me anymore or whatever. That's such a bad hole to go down. Trust me. Trust me, there is nothing good down that hole. But you know, it's hard. It is hard not to do it because, especially when someone's a certain way and then all of a sudden their demeanor changes. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just rambling, I think. Oh, I gotta get rid of this cold. That was another thing with me being outside, is I feel like it was making my cold worse. So we'll be back in here for the winter. I like this setup anyway. I feel like it's me. It vibes with me. Tell me what you think. I'm always looking for, you know, what you guys think. I gotta get some new stuff to fill up my shelf though. She's a little empty. Anyway, be good. Take care. Stay safe.